Welcome to Mart's garage.
Hello, welcome to my messy workbench. This is the door latch from the driver's side on the 32, and it appears to be quite heavily worn in some places, and the area where it's worn appears to be this pin. I've got the latch part in the vise, but if you look at this is quite badly, this moves a lot here, which allows it all to sort of cock over. So what I think I'm going to do is drill that piece out there, that rivet, and build this piece up with weld, and then probably make another rivet. Other than that, it seems quite badly worn there. Can you see it's cocked over now? Look, see it's at an angle, and quite badly worn there. So this part here, I will probably put some weld on there, and on that part there, and file it or grind it to shape. And I will weld and file anything else that looks like it's worn. And you can see there, see how it's quite severely cocked over? Okay, I'll bring you back when I've been able to have a look at it, and I've made a bit of progress. Right, can you see that slot there? That should be parallel. The dimension you can see at the right hand end ought to be all the way up, and I think that dimension should be 5/16. So what I'm going to do is build up that area to the top left of the slot that you can see in that view with weld. As far as I can tell, this metal isn't hard, you know, case hardened. It could have been case hardened. I don't think it is. So I'm going to try and build that up with weld and get the slot back to a nice uniform 5/16. What I've also done there is douse that with oil to get this mechanism moving here. This is the piece that opens the latch from the inside, and this is the piece that interferes with the remote piece when you lock the door from the inside, and that's where the handle goes, obviously, just to get that all moving nice and freely. It's not the easiest of materials to work with, this kind of thin sheet metal complex pressings, but you know, hey, you do what you can. Oh, and there's the thing. I don't know if the camera will focus in enough on this, but I'll kind of hold it up to the light. Can you see where it's badly eaten? You can see it really clearly now. That's badly eaten away. What I'll do, I'll file the slot, weld and file the slot, and then I'll make a new pin. Just try and catch that while it's still slightly red. That's where I've just welded it. I can't even see, I've got my goggles on. That's where I've just welded it. Hopefully when I file that down it'll be enough material. Don't look great actually, but okay, anyway, that's what it is. Okay, I've just filed it. I used this file and this file, and this is a rivet that is 5/16, and that fits and slides okay. I don't know if the thickness is okay, but just have to go with that. From my box of oddball Allen bolts, I've got this one here, quite short, 10mm. So what I'm thinking is I'll turn that down to 5/16 and then turn it down to the diameter of the bit that has to go through and be riveted, and see how I get on from there. So that's where I'm starting with, and then what I finish up with will be a lot smaller than that, obviously. Okay, back in a bit. This kind of goes over just about, so I'll leave it at that for that diameter. I need to get that smaller diameter now where it goes through to be riveted on. There's the pin turned down. They're doing the roof next door, so they've got like a heat gun thing going. Can you hear it? And here's the piece where it has to go into. That's not a bad fit, to be honest. Okay. So I won't cut that off. I'll leave that so I can hold that bit, and then I can skim the head down. There's the pin, and I hope that's going to work. So I suppose I might as well just cut it off now, and then put it on and pin it over. Here's the thing. It's got a little bit of, it's got quite a lot of weld underneath there, which you probably can't see very well. Got some on this side, and it's got some on that surface there. I tried to see if I could set it up on the milling machine, but I don't think I can. So I'm going to just do my best with grinders and things. I managed to get it back in. You can see the rivet there. I haven't riveted it. That's in place. You have to get that bit behind it there, and you have to kind of lever the spring up and get the spring behind there. It seems to be working okay. So I will pin this over now, and hopefully that'll be okay. It's a pretty simple mechanism, to be honest. You can buy these, they're not very expensive, but they're quite expensive here in the UK. And you know, I don't mind busting the welder out and having a go. So let's see how we get on with this. Hope that's good enough for it to work. Oh yeah, that works really well. Can you see what Ford had to do? You had to have the glass coming down here, so this part here has to kind of scoot around the end of the glass channel. Oh, that works really well now. And I haven't even actually really lubricated that bit there. Put a bit of oil on it. I'll probably put some grease on it, but put some stickum on it, slickum. And then when this piece goes all the way that way, it stops this from going down, locks that. At least that spring there's working alright. Put a bit of oil up there. Nice, that is, isn't it? Look at that, superb. That came out better than I expected, that bit there. You know, and that's a decent quality bolt, so it should, I mean, you know. Okay, it's probably not all the proper heat treated metal and things, but it'll still, you know, I hate to say it, outlast me. Cool, man. Can you see where the oil is washing the rust out from there? And as long as it's used regularly, it'll just be okay, won't it? So this basically relies on this spring here to bring it back to the up position. I wondered if this piece might be a bit twisted actually. Could be, you know, from trying to force this handle. Might be. I might try and put a bit of a twist the other way, and that'll lift the handle then. Well, I kind of levered it about a bit. I don't know if it made any difference. But you know, hey, I tried. Okay, right, leave it at that for now then. Hello. Right, so I've reassembled the latch into the door, and if you look down there you can see the screws, which are probably a bit long, and you can see the mechanism working there, look, and you can see that new rivet, and you can see the latch mechanism sliding on the rivet. I haven't screwed that piece on, but this now works good, and it will even slam shut. That was the inside latch falling off, so that's good, isn't it? That's why I wanted to get that door fitting nicely yesterday, so that works really well now. Okay, I just need to fix this on. This needs a spring in it to give it like a detent feel. I need to find if I can locate one of those. Okay, right. I'd call that a real good success. I'm going to hold this door in a certain place so that doesn't fall off. There you go. How's that then? I would call that a good little bit of a tinkering session. Just go do the same on the other side now. Okay, thank you very much for watching. You take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Hello, look, this is a front window winder from my 32 sedan. So this is the passenger side. So what you can see, there's some damage here on these teeth. So I'm just thinking, how can I go about trying to repair this? I've wound it a bit and it's kind of gone really tight and jammed up. So what I think I'm going to do is remove this big kind of retainer piece here. This is kind of sways through on the other side, and then take these pieces off and then address this. I've got this one as a pattern, and this one works okay. And what you can see there is that you've got the handle winds this piece, which winds a gear, which winds a pinion, which I've handily not positioned nicely there, which is hidden down behind there, which drives that gear, and that gear drives that gear, so that the arms move in opposing motions. But this one winds from top to bottom fine with no problem, so that's good. I suspect there might be something a bit funny going on here, because this piece has been taken off and put back on again. It also has two broken springs. So that's a good one to copy as a pattern, and this is a bad one. I might be able to swap these actually, so you got the good one as the primary contact, and then this one as the secondary contact over there. It might not be quite so critical there. Okay, let's see if I can get it apart, and I will start by undoing the other side of that, which looks like that there. It's just a kind of riveted head, so I'll kind of grind that off, I think. Let me get that off then, and I'll get these out and we'll see what's happening Right, back in a bit. Right, I've been on a bit of a voyage of discovery with this. I've got this off. Now, I assumed that when I took that piece out from there, that would just come out, and that what looked like that would just go through. This piece here would just go through, but it doesn't. It's got a flange there, look, so that won't go through. The only way to get that off is by grinding it in that area there, which is what I just did. I hope I don't have to make another one of them. I assume that I can sort of put that back in and kind of rivet it, and then maybe just put a little spot of weld on it. And I've got to do the same on this piece now, so let's see. So I'll just go and do that then. Okay, right, I've got both of these gears off then. Both of those are off. Can you see that they're also perfectly aligned and similar? Even the gear teeth are aligned and the arms are aligned. But I've got more problems here. Can you see that pinion there? Can you see a problem? There, look, see, tooth missing. And deformed teeth on the others as well. Let's get it off and have a look at it and see if we can do anything with it. I've managed to remove the pinion from there, and now this piece winds perfectly happily. So there's nothing wrong with this gear and that gear. This pinion doesn't look quite so happy though. Let's hold it up to the light there. When I try and roll this in there, it's just really not happy at all. It is not a happy gear. So I think I will have to weld some metal onto this and then file it to shape. Other than that tooth there, I think a lot of it is kind of that the metal is deformed rather than missing. It's just been pushed out of shape. So I might try and do something with it and then just weld where I need to. It's one of those, again, as I say, it's a little voyage of discovery. Let's kind of try and work out what's going on. Yeah, and it's a one-off, isn't it? If I was doing hundreds of them, I'd make some new gears or something, you know, but I'm not. Once I fix this one, I'll never do another one. If I lived in America, I'll just buy one of these. You can buy them. It's no problem. But I don't live in America. And even though I can order one and get it sent over, to me, I'd rather just fix this. It's my make, do and mend post World War II mentality. I will bring you back when I've made some progress. But at least I know what I'm working with now. I've got to repair this gear. That's the good one. And I've got to repair this one as well. What a nightmare. Okay, righto. Thanks very much then. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers. I've just spent quite a while basically hammering these teeth one way or another. If they look bent over, I hammered them in the way that I thought they needed to go, and I've squashed them down, hammered them down flat. Not on here, obviously, I didn't have it on here. And I've just put the pinion and the gear back onto the thing, and I've got the winder handle up here on the other side, so I'll start at this point here, and what you can see is that amazingly they do actually mesh all the way around until you get to the broken tooth there. Then you just have to kind of give it a little help, and then it will continue. So all I need to do now is to build up some weld there and file a tooth shape on, and that would actually work. Okay, it's not perfect, but it would actually work. And I might put a little bit of weld on the end of that one there, because that one looks a bit short. That one that's in that gap there. Let's get back. I think that's not too bad, to be honest. And that one, that side of the gap as well. So a little bit of weld on the end of that one, a little bit of weld on the end of that one, and a big lump of weld in the middle, and file it all. But I think that's pretty good. Okay, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't film it, but I've welded and filed the gear, and now it goes all the way around. And I would say that for a mechanism such as this, which isn't a high-speed mechanism, it's very simple. You have to think of virtually medieval stuff here. Right, let's get that back in. That's actually not bad. I think that's good enough for a window winding mechanism. And the good news is that what I realised is that this arm will basically, if you like, if you treat that as the midpoint, it will go to there and round to there, and the other arm will go directly opposite. So imagine that one there. So actually the good teeth are still in place on that side that have got a mesh there. But so in other words, it was that pinion that did all the damage on these teeth here. So by moving that one from there to there, I don't actually have to repair any of these teeth. In other words, it'll only ever go from there to there to there, and all those teeth are okay. So I need to reinstate these rivets, reinstate that rivet, reinstate this rivet, reinstate a washer that goes on there. So I will do a little bit more work and show you what it looks like when I've finished. There's the 3 welds there, and I've just done 2 tacks on each one. There's that button in place, and again I've just done 2 tacks on that as well. I think, you know, they've lasted nearly 90 years. They'll last a bit longer now that they've had some attention. But everything here should be relatively easy to dismantle just by a quick lick with a grinder, and you know, pop things apart. So this is completely serviceable now for infinity, really. Plus you can buy a new one. If you live in the States, you can get stuff really easily. You can buy a new one for a couple $100 anyway. There you go. Nice. So that's the dealio. You put them parallel, and then they travel up. When they come horizontal, they're level. Keeps the window level. So that's the next challenge, putting the springs on. But I've got some on order, so I'm waiting for those to arrive. Pair of new springs on there, pair of new springs on the other side, and you know, they'll be good to go. I suppose it would be good to take this and just put it in the car and then wind it up and down, wouldn't it, just for a laugh. Okay, back in a bit. Hello, look, I've put the mechanism in, 6 screws there, and there are the 2 arms sticking down. So let's windy. So that's coming up. The 2 bottom pieces are coming apart away from each other, so that's going up. You can see the pinion going round. So they're now actually, I'll just go down a bit, they're now, I'd say, horizontal, and then they come up. So you couldn't have, can you see down there, look, on that pinion thing? I was thinking about like putting a bolt on there with a head, but look, even there, look, the arm is just touching those tack welds. Can you see that the tack welds are just making a mark on the back of the arm? So I need to just touch those to a grinder. There's no problem anywhere else. But that I started looking at bolts and things, so that's about it, because that will be all the way up now. With those just about there, you can see they're at the same height to each other. That's pretty neat, I'd say. Yeah. Okay, a little bit of a lick on them tack welds, just on that pinion then, and I'll call that a good job. Don't know what you can see, I'm having a great time. And my theory was correct, that damaged gear is okay, because it doesn't actually travel into the damaged area during normal operation. So swapping the two arms from one to each other was a really good thing to do, I think. I've got some fifth wheel grease. When I assemble it, I'll just slather it in fifth wheel grease. So it's kind of waterproof and sticky. I think that's really good. Great. Brilliant. Okay. There's I put some oil on everything, and I took it out, and down there now you can see that there's clearance now. Sorry, I touched that those spot welds on a grinder, and now you can see there's clearance. So I'm just been happily winding this backwards and forwards and watching the oil spread around. It's that clingy chainsaw stuff, so I'll leave that in place now, and when the springs arrive I'll put the springs on. Hand filed gears, what a laugh. You know, if they were doing 5,000 RPM you'd need something a bit better, but for this sort of motion. Okay, right, I am literally just faffing around now. Still, that oil won't hurt, it'll just run everywhere and make a mess, but it doesn't matter. I'll leave these up. Oh, I can't leave it alone, it's fantastic. Right, okay. That is another step in the right direction. With these things, you can't look at everything at once, and you have to just break it down into one job that you can concentrate on. And that's what I've done. I've concentrated on that one job, and I've come up with a result. Right, thank you very much. You take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.